record. Good enough. Come on, Chris. Start this episode, man.
Hello, welcome back to the Retro Asylum, episode 8,342,052.
Take two.
Take two. We've just done this. See, the numbers have gone up.
Yeah, significantly, I'd say.
Considerably.
But, again, who are you and where's Chris and why are you treating numbers with this disdain?
Terrible things. Dean Swain would applaud my disdain for numbers. You know he would.
He would, but old Chris wouldn't.
No. Well, I've turned over a new leaf now.
Okay.
Because we're debuting a new concept here, aren't we, Mads?
We are. So for our audio listeners right now, you wouldn't know anything about this, but we're actually trying to record this on video as well. We're not recording ourselves because Chris definitely has a face made for radio, but we are recording the gameplay. So there's going to be a companion video here that we're going to be releasing on YouTube. And if this format works, we can stream it on Twitch or something like that in the future.
Yeah.
May even get Chris to put his picture in there as well.
And Mads might even put some clothes on.
I might.
It is the summer, and you know what he's like over the years.
Yes, I'm channeling my inner Jeff from Retro Game Squad.
Is that what he does?
He always ends up shirtless when they're recording in the summer.
And they record in the same room, don't they?
They do.
in Alex's basement?
Yep, he likes to get the nips out, he says.
Jesus Christ. I'm glad I'm a few thousand miles away. So this is also a debut of another new concept as well, because as we mentioned, I think on the Labyrinth episode, I think we did mention this, that this is the start of a new series looking at the Evercade and the various cards released. We've been talking about this adjacent and directly now, Mads, it seems, since the Evercade launched, haven't we?
Yep.
And with the Game Club and everything else, we never really had the time to devote to it. But with the hiatus of the Game Club, this is one of the things that we said we would like to trot out. So the idea is an episode per cart, not every month, not every 2 weeks, not every week, just whenever we're ready, we'll talk about a particular cart in order, of course.
Back to loving numbers again.
There has to be an order, doesn't it?
Yes, of course.
Has to be. In order, a high-level look at the cart, what it was like, the emulation, the games, probably a little chat about, in this instance, it's Atari, so a little chat about Atari and what we think, and also just a quick look, an overview of the games that are on the system. We're not going to be going into too much depth, because there's 20 games on this card, and if we did that, we'd be here until Monday, and it's Saturday, and nobody wants that.
Definitely good games and not so good games. First card, for example. So some games we'll spend a lot of time on, and others we'll just pass very quickly. But we will try to just briefly start them all so you can see them on the video and see what we're talking about.
Mads is going to play Steeplechase for 4 hours. Watch.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
No, he's not. But in time-honoured fashion, mate, before we get into that, what have you been up to?
See, I've been up to finishing one of the hardest games I ever played, I guess, with Dark Souls 2. No, not Aquaventure. That's quite a hard game as well. Great game, though. But we'll get into that later on. No, I finished Dark Souls 2 along with you on playthrough, and that was great. Love that game. Probably my favorite Souls game, I guess, up until now. Apart from that, loving getting into the Evercade because, for the longest time, years since I bought the original first handheld Evercade, still have that right here, and I initially thought, this is nice, this is not for me, and for the longest time I've just held on to that this is not for me, this is for people who are less enthusiastic about old hardware and just want to see some of the old games. But getting the VS and even pre-ordering the XPR and getting some of the old cartridges and the new cartridges with the, let's call them modern retro games on there, has really got me interested in the platform.
Yeah, good.
I love the presentation. I love the curated sets of games. And definitely an Evercade fan now. So I'm excited to see whether this lasts, whether this is just this is the new thing for me right now, or whether in a year when we're still doing these episodes, I'm still very much in love with the ecosystem. But I definitely am right now. So I've been spending a lot of time with this Atari Collection, for example.
Yeah, good. Yeah, me too. Yeah, exactly the same with the Evercade. It's funny, isn't it? I mean, I forget how many times I've said on this show that I'm a big fan of the the platform generally. Yes, there's loads of ways to play these Atari games. Most of these, it's on the Atari 50 that we looked at in the Game Club a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And there are countless number of ways in which you can play Atari 2600, 5200, etc. games. But there is something about, and we've said this countless times, when your options are limitless, you end up doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is something really nice about somebody saying, here you go. Here are 20 Atari games over the lifespan of the Atari consoles. They're not all classics, let's face it. These are far from all classics. But in some ways, each of them are interesting for different reasons. And I like the fact that it just gives you a smattering of things. You can go and do a little bit of additional reading about each one. I mean, there's games on here that I'd never even heard of that I now really, really like.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun as we go through the carts. And I think this was almost like the Wild West days of the Evercade. They didn't know whether it was going to catch on. Clearly it has. We're iterations worth of hardware now into the platform's life. There are about 70 carts in total, 60, 70 in total now.
Yeah, some of the later ones I bought were definitely in the high 60s, I think. I'm really looking forward to playing. I mean, these are the old games, but they have new modern retro games as well. So Good Boy Galaxy is one of those. As soon as my EXPR arrives, that's gonna get in there, and I'm gonna play Good Boy Galaxy because our good friends over at New Game Old Flame loved that game, for example. So
that seems to be a very popular modern retro style game, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting into this, and it's definitely nice. I mean, my Evercade VS, I think I'd fired up once since I'd bought it. I mean, the pad was thick with dust. But now, I've had that on the main TV. The kids have been playing some Foo Fight and some Aquaventure, and it's been really good fun over these past 3 or 4 weeks. Just sitting down and playing these games.
I mean, I'm going to be buying one of those little 2.4 gigahertz adapters for my 8-bit Duo controller, so I can actually have it on the main screen and sit on the couch playing this. So
that'd be nice. Yeah, and over the lifespan of this series as well, we're going to be joined on a more regular basis nowadays by Jim. Jim Middleton from Playthrough and the Retro Silent Discord. So he's joined the crew now as a regular member. Partly because I think Dean likes him for his YouTube expertise, if you could call it that. I wouldn't call it that. But he will be joining us on these episodes and others. And hopefully we'll be able to rope in some of the other guys as well. Dean did express some interest about joining us because he's an Atari fanboy in some ways, but he is now otherwise engaged. So it's just us two.
Yes. Just like in the old days, mate.
Just like it's like we're turning back the years. I've been faffing around trying to get PSVR 2 working on my PC.
Okay.
I won't go into too much detail because it's a little embarrassing of the length of
Did you get the adapter already, or?
Yeah, I got the adapter, which was
okay. I thought it was a pre-order.
Well, no, it wasn't a pre-order. I mean, this is where I think PSVR 2 has been treated horrendously by Sony, in my opinion. It's anyone who's in the know. I mean, I have nothing to compare it to, but people who seem to know what they're talking about say that the PSVR 2 is a good piece of hardware.
Yeah, it is.
The PS5 is a great piece of hardware. What could go wrong if you combine 2 great pieces of hardware? Well, it seems everything. Because I think there's been about a dozen games released between... Yeah, I mean, there's been lots of experiences released, but in terms of games that you would actually sit and play, I reckon there's been about 10 released since PSVR 2 launched last year. And that, to my mind, is criminal. They've now taken to slashing the price, which is good because it's brought on a whole load of new users. Great.
So maybe they'll pull in the developers?
Well, I hope so. I mean, the larger the install base, the more you would think that publishers and developers would be encouraged to actually make games for it.
Yeah.
So that's a positive. I read somewhere that sales had increased by 2,000%. I think Chris Atwill said, well, if only 10 had been sold. It's still...
And we're up to 240 or...
something like that. Yeah, something like that. But now they've released this PC adapter, and this is a prime example of Sony just seeming to just not care. So it was announced, I think, in June that this was coming out on the 7th of August. Great. They released the Steam app, but there were no pre-orders for the adapter. Even on the morning of the 7th of August, it was listed as not available on the Sony website. not available on Amazon, even though they did feature a bundle alongside the PSVR 2. And it was only about midday on the 7th that you could actually buy the blooming thing. I'm talking about in the UK. It may be different in other territories, but in the UK, you couldn't buy the thing until halfway through the day on which it was released. To be fair to Sony, once they did put it up for sale, they quickly shipped it. So I paid for it on the 7th and it arrived on the 8th. But it's not easy. It's not a plug-and-play solution on the PC, as you might expect. It's not native to the PC. It's very finicky with the Bluetooth connection with the controllers.
Okay.
So I had to buy a particular type of Bluetooth dongle, which if that's plugged into the back of the PC, it causes interference with other things. So it has to be plugged in at the front. My graphics card wasn't powerful enough, so I had to fix that. And last night, I did manage to spend 20 minutes on Half-Life Alyx.
Okay, and it actually works.
It does work.
It looks good.
It does look good.
Okay.
Yeah, it does look good. It doesn't look as good as it does on the PS5, so there's no HDR on the screens. There's no haptic rumble on, and the vibration on the DualSense on the Sense controllers is actually a bit erratic.
So why wouldn't there be HDR? That ought to be just a setting, I guess.
I don't really know.
Okay.
They've said there wouldn't be HDR. There's no haptic rumble from the controllers, which is supposed makes sense. But the haptic rumble is really good when you play it natively on the PS5. Yeah. But look, it's a way for me to play Half-Life Alyx and other Steam VR games that I can't play. I really enjoy playing games in VR.
So you do know, mate, that if you calculate the cost for a new GPU and the adapter and the Bluetooth dongle, and
I'm well aware.
You could have bought a Quest 3, for example, and get a lot better experience out of it.
That is true, but I still would have needed to upgrade the GPU.
Probably, yes. Probably.
Wouldn't I? Yeah. Which was 7 or 8 years old.
Okay.
So I was due an upgrade of that, and I do love getting a new graphics out. I'm like a little kid at Christmas.
Yep.
Like I fired up Doom, which is Doom 2016, which is hardly a modern game.
Oh yeah.
But I whacked up all the settings. Man, that game looks incredible.
It's great gameplay as well. Lovely version. I didn't appreciate the new Doom, but the 2016 or what it is, 17 was great.
Oh yeah. Man, so I played an hour of that. I had to drag myself away from that. That is something special, that game, isn't it?
Definitely.
And also, we're going to be playing Prey, the 2017 Arcane game.
Oh yeah.
Over on Playthrough, coming up shortly after a Highland song. And so I've downloaded that, and that looks also absolutely incredible. Yeah. On the high settings on the PC, mouse and keyboard, of course, mate, for that game.
Of course.
Can't play it with these controllers. So look,
actually,
it's been a faff.
Probably that game. If I know them, they've made it really, really good on a controller as well. So.
Yeah, I think it was almost developed for a controller.
Was it? Okay.
Because I think the console was the lead platform, and I think it's still on Game Pass as well. So I think that is where I suppose it was meant for that. But to my mind, there's no way if you've got the option of playing with mouse and keyboard, that's the way to do it.
Definitely.
With the first-person shooter. So there we go, eh?
Here we go. Should we get into some Atari games?
Let's talk about some Evercade.
Yeah. So listeners, for those of you who are actually looking at the video, I am just on the carousel right now. And for those who are just listening, this is the Evercade versus carousel has this nice way of displaying the games that are on the cartridge you plugged in. So just like any front end should know for your emulators, really. And I think we should just dive into the first game. There are 20 games on the cartridge. And I know, Chris, I'm holding the cartridge box here in my hand. That your OCD must be going weird places looking at the back of that box. Because if you look at the carousel, they've actually done an alphabetical sort of
beautiful.
Of all of the games on there. But on the back of the cartridge, the case here, it seems completely random, but not quite. So
I've never even looked at that. Is that the case, is it? It's just all over the place.
It's all over the place. The first game they have here in the corner is Centipede, and then Adventure and Alien Brigade and Asteroids. But then we jump to Missile Command, and then back to Crystal Castles and Food Fight. It's horrible.
Why would you do that?
I don't know what they've been thinking, but
it's so weird. I'll try not to get too worried about it. No. The one thing I do love about these Evercade cards, though, and they know exactly what they're doing. I mean, there are two things that I really like about it. One is the number, they know exactly what they're doing with that.
Yes.
Don't they?
Devious.
There's a collector in every single one of us. And when they're all on your shelf in a row and you go from 20 to 22, no, it's not acceptable.
No. So, see, I've got problems there already because I don't have cartridge number 3 that we probably will be recording about in just a few months. So,
and I somehow have managed to pick up duplicates. I don't really know how that's happened, but I think where I've bought 3 at once from local sellers, I've just acquired some duplicates. So I need to ship those to you.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So I've got 3 or 4 duplicates, and I've got most of them up to about 27. In fact, I've got all of them up to 27, and then a bit patchy. So I do need, but I think all those are still in print. So I just need to pick up one every now and again just so I can fill that collection. But they're very collectible, these cartridges, aren't they?
They are indeed. So when I bought my VS, I bought like a handful of cartridges as well because I found this web store that had it all on sale. The VS was really cheap as well. So I bought like 5 or 6 cartridges as well. So
yeah, nice. The booklets are nice as well, aren't they? That's the other thing I like about the carts.
Yep.
The little booklets. And we need to shout out at this point as well, good old Deadlock.
Yes, and his website, evercade.info.
Yeah, amazing. Links to all the original manuals, data on the games, all kinds of really good information over there. So definitely check out evercade.info. I'm sure most people who are listening to this will be well aware of Deadlock's website, but it's well worth checking out.
Yeah, if you're into Evercade, you definitely know about that. But it's a nice service because, as you said, there's a little booklet with the cartridges, but that doesn't cover like manuals for all of the games. Because, for example, this cartridge has 20 old games, so of course they couldn't include that here. Yeah. So go to evercade.info and there'll be all of the information about the games and the hardware that you need.
Yeah, and we'll come on to some of this stuff with the Atari. I mean, the lack of a manual on some of these games was a real problem for me.
Yeah.
But we can come on to that as we talk through the games.
Yeah, so I'm going to start up the first game here then, because going, of course, alphabetically, because we want to keep Chris sane.
Yeah, don't upset me.
We're going to start playing Adventure. And I'm going to read the little blurb here, because that actually works in audio format as well. So Adventure, when you enter that on the carousel here, there's a small description. So it says, go on a quest to recover the enchanted chalice and return it to its rightful place in the Golden Castle. Battle ferocious dragons. Oh, that's what they are. I thought they were chickens.
Yeah, I thought they were ducks.
Yeah, chickens, ducks, or maybe ostriches. I'm not sure. Find keys to unlock castle gates and collect items to help you save the day. This landmark Atari classic is one of the foundations of the action-adventure genre. Yeah, let's just stop there and try to get into the actual game.
Yeah, this is this game I have wanted to really play. So I must have fired up Adventure, I don't know, dozens of times over the years.
Yeah, me too.
And just ran around, thought, what's that weird arrow? What do I do? What are these ducks? I haven't got a clue what to do, and turned it off again. And it was only in the last couple of weeks that I really managed to actually sink some time into the game. And it's all right, isn't it?
It's really good. I was surprised at how good it was. I've been trying to pick it up many times, and I've finished the first world here, or there are 3 worlds or
3 games,
challenges, games, really, game modes. Yeah. I finished the first one a couple of times, but never actually spent a lot of time on it. So it was great picking it up. It's so simple. It's just, I mean, you are... Well, you're not a pixel because there's a few pixels in you.
You're a square.
You're a square, just running around, and he's very alone, just like in Thomas Was Alone.
Yeah.
But this square needs to go through the labyrinths that are the different screens. Kill the birds, but apparently dragons they are when you pick up stuff here, and just try to find the golden chalice, get it back home, because you start at the starting point is where the castle is, the yellow castle, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I've tried getting into this game many times and failed every single time. So it's been good just focusing.
Yeah, and the 3 games. I mean, the first one is quite simple in that there's quite a small maze, which if for people watching the video, you can see Mads's character there, and it is a character. Come on, people, use your imagination. The character running around that maze. It's a small maze. It's pretty easy to find. the chalice. You get it back. There's only a couple of dragons. They're pretty easy to kill with the sword.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. I mean, we know Jim had some problems because he didn't know how to get past those dragons at all. But of course, you need to pick up what actually just looks like a yellow arrow.
It does,
and you pick up stuff by just going into it. Then it kind of sticks to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can only carry one thing at a time.
Yeah, you can carry one thing at a time, and then it just sticks to you. And if you pick up that yellow arrow, that is in fact a sword. Then you can hold it on top of your little square or on the bottom or either side, and then you need to just run into the dragon, pointy bit first. Well, just a sword first, and then you can dispatch them like that.
Yeah, and then quite coolly, it stays in place, doesn't it?
Yep.
Which is cool. So you'll always see the evidence of your victory there. But it's the second game. Then the world. It isn't a huge map, but it's a lot bigger with a couple of mazes.
Yeah.
With some fog of war as well, which makes navigating the mazes much more difficult. And also because you have to move things. Your chalice there, Mads, was drifting away.
So yeah, just there are different items to pick up. There's the sword, of course, but there's also a magnet, and you don't need it on the first world, but every item will be attracted to the magnet.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
All items are attracted to the magnet. So if you're holding the magnet, you can actually ferry items between screens, as far as I remember.
Yeah, and that is useful. Because there are times when if you're holding a key, it can get stuck in the wall of a maze.
Exactly.
And so then you would need... So the magnet serves as a bug fix for the coders as well.
I was thinking that because I got, I think... Yeah, it was the key. In the second level, I got the key stuck in the wall in one of the... there's a labyrinth there that is actually invisible. You can only see a small area around you. I got the key stuck there somewhere. And then... with the help of the magnet, I got it out, of course. Apart from that, there's also the bridge that you also don't need in the first game, but it's there already. That is like a huge item you can pick up, and for those watching, I've just picked it up. You can place it anywhere, and then you can go through the walls there. So the bridge kind of makes a bridge over the wall. That's what it's supposed to show you. Yeah,
it took me the longest time to figure out that was what it was for. I was carrying that around, not really knowing. But again, if you read the manual, this is all explained in the manual.
Yeah.
And it makes the game it makes the game seem with a lot more sense. But this is a game where you need to use your imagination, right? I mean, this is, you need to imagine that you're walking around this labyrinth. It's full of it's like Dark Souls, right? You need to imagine that there's skeletons around every corner. And if you do that, there's actually a bit of fun to be had.
There is definitely. And this is like Dark Souls also in its feeling because, I mean, those dragons, they home right in at you.
Yeah, especially in the second game.
Quickly. So, yeah, especially in the second game. So, you need to be on your toes. And it's actually really an enjoyable game, I find. So,
the other thing that's worth mentioning about this before we move on is it was made by a guy called Roushimsx. And it also has what is widely believed to be the very first Easter egg of any game. So people will know that Atari were famous for not really crediting the individual artists and coders who made these games. Roushimsx thought that was a little out of order, so he put in a secret room you can access it in games 2 and 3. I've not seen it. I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't found it.
It's a bit obtuse how you find it. You probably need a guide. It's hard to think, although people obviously did. It's hard to think how you would stumble upon it. But when you do, you end up in a room which has his name.
Yeah.
And that's really cool as a bit of a finger up to Atari, isn't it? Saying, ha, you don't credit me at your peril. But widely regarded as the first Easter egg of any video game.
Yeah. No, this adventure is definitely a great game, and something you should try for your Atari 2600 because it's one of those staples, isn't it? Look at what happened there. I'm just going to describe what happened because in the second world, there's this bat and he flies around stealing stuff. So he picks up stuff and runs around with it. Normally, the annoying thing is that he picks up your sword and runs away, or your key or whatever. This time, and I've never seen that happen before, he picked up a dragon and flew it into me. Wonderful stuff.
And what will happen there is that you will end up in the belly of the dragon. So, and then you have no choice but to reset.
Yep.
Oh, he just flew away again with the dragon.
He flew away with the dragon. He just stopped and flew away. Wonderful.
Brilliant. No, it's a good game, and I would say it's worth an hour of anyone's time, in my opinion.
Most definitely. I really enjoyed it. It's probably, apart from Adventure, that's the game I spend most time with on this cartridge.
Yeah, sure. Me too. Yeah, maybe there's a couple of others coming up, but certainly up there for me, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So for the listeners, just one small thing. You will hear a lot of clicking and clacking. That's just the Evercade versus controller. That can't be held. I'm sorry to say. So
it's evidence that you are actually playing the games.
Yes. But the next game in the order here is Alien Brigade, and that's an Atari 7800 game. So it looks a lot better. The description says that the Plutoid Alien Zombie Force, that's quite a mouthful, isn't it? Has infiltrated the army. They look like soldiers, but are actually hostile aliens from outer space. Your job is to seek out and destroy these nasty invaders, procure powerful weapons on site, rescue hostages, avoid shooting any friendly targets, and most of all, stay alive. This is, it's your Operation Wolf-like kind of game, isn't it? It's from 1990. So
1990, mate. It must be a late release for the 7800.
Must have been. But it's these kind of games. I've actually never appreciated them outside of the arcade. What do you say?
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, this is I think if you had a light gun, there's fun to be had at home. As far as I'm aware, there isn't a light gun which is compatible with the Evercade. You'd obviously need a CRT or some other funky way of registering that. But this is a typical game of this nature control with a D-pad. So you're moving the reticule there around the screen.
Like when you're playing Operation Wolf on your C64, for example. So you've got two buttons now, so you can both shoot your machine gun and throw grenades.
Yeah.
Of course. But shooting like this, moving your reticle around. I mean, it was slightly better on the Amiga when we got a mouse.
With the mouse, yeah.
But still, it needs to be a gun for this to be funny. And I loved these games. I loved Operation Wolf, for example, in the arcade.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I actually appreciated Cabal a bit. That was actually quite good.
That was a good game. But again, that was the Amiga, wasn't it? And you had the mouse, and it made a difference to controlling it rather than with the D-pad. The other thing about this game as well is that there are... So, again, it's hard to really know this from what information the game gives you, but there is a very particular mission going on here. This isn't a case of just shoot everything. You have to break the prisoners of war out of the camp in this first level, and to do that you need to blow the doors off the prison building. You don't really know which building it is. You also get punished for shooting friendly soldiers, and the only way to know, most soldiers are disguised, and the only way to know which are friendly and which are hostile is apparently the hostile ones move slower.
The friendly ones normally don't have any shirt on, I've noticed.
Okay, but it looks as if the friendly ones shoot at you as well.
I don't think they do.
I don't know. So I got to the point where I could rescue the soldiers, but I would be forbidden from going to the second level because I'd killed too many friendlies.
Yep, me too.
I didn't spend it. So Mads is playing there, and the building that he has to. So Mads has just blown the door off the building which has the prisoners of war, which is the objective for the first level. This got well reviewed at the time, you know, and if you look at lists now of the best 7800 games, it's always talked about. But for me, it just didn't really work.
Yeah, and I just failed again, it seems.
Yes.
So that's how it works for me every single time.
You have disregarded your commanding officer's orders. Your court martial is now in progress. Next time you might try executing the mission, not the civilians. I like the idea, though, of having a more kind of nuanced, thoughtful game within this Operation Wolf style, you know, where there are specific objectives. But I just couldn't really work out what was going on.
No, me neither. No.
So I didn't play this for very long.
No, me neither. This is not one for me, this is not one you should pick up and look at, because there are other better games on the platform. But
I assume there was a light gun for the Atari 7800.
Yeah, this would have been fun with a light gun, of course, because that's how these games are supposed to work.
Yeah.
But,
I have to ask Dean. No, I think Dean's got 7800. I'll have to ask him whether he's got a Lycom for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
You gonna read on the next one for us here?
Okay.
This is Aquaventure.
So the next one is Aquaventure, released, incredibly, in 2005.
Yeah.
Dive into the depths of the sea in search of treasure in Aquaventure. Battle against the time limit to reach the riches laying at the ocean floor, but watch out for aquatic creatures and other hazards that lay in your path. You can shoot them to clear the way and then point, but be careful.
Yeah.
So, a lost game, mate.
Yeah. So, what's the story about this? Do you know?
So, this was, for the longest time, I believe a proto cart, popped up in a flea market in the States.
Yeah.
And it was picked up by someone who knew what they were talking about, knew that this wasn't a game that was ever commercially released. The ROM was dumped and it was shared. And it was, for the longest time, it was a bit of a mystery because there is plenty of knowledge about Atari games that were planned but not released. There are lists, I believe, from having a little look online. There's Atari had internal lists which have been released now of games which were planned and even games which they'd officially cancelled. And this never appeared on any of those lists, despite obviously being a finished game. So it was released, and it was released in 2005. It was picked up by Limited Run Games. It got a wide release. I think it's on the Atari 50 as well.
Okay,
I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's now got you can buy it, the cartridge from Atari itself, for about 50 quid.
So a cartridge that actually works on the old 2600?
On the 2600.
Nice.
Yeah. And they do a nice job, and they've released a few of the games, and they do a nice job in packaging them up. But yeah, it's an actual card that you plug into your 2600 and play.
Pretty cool.
But it was, for the longest time, it wasn't known who wrote this game, who was responsible for any part of it, until it was revealed not that long ago, in the last couple of years. It's been now confirmed that a guy called Gary Shannon, who worked at Atari back in the day, was coded it.
Okay.
And he's known for games like Miss Piggy's Wedding and Mind Race.
Miss Piggy's Wedding, yes, okay, yeah.
You know that one?
No.
No, I don't either, but they're the games that he's most known for. And apparently Todd Fry, again, a name that I'm not familiar with, may have been responsible for the kernel. Mads, what's a kernel?
Oh, so that in a game like this, I wouldn't know actually. But it's the stuff that actually talks to device drivers and makes stuff work. So in your operating system, your Linux kernel is the stuff that has access to the hardware and file system support in there as well, and so on and so forth. So I'm guessing he built it on something that someone built for him. Then
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks, Mr. Fry, because he was responsible for said kernel.
Yeah.
This is the game that I think we all latched onto pretty quickly as being a really fun. It is a pure arcade score chaser game, isn't it, mate?
Yes, it's really great. So I just had an attempt here, and it wasn't that good. But people on our Discord have gotten like 300,000 points.
The highest score is about 300,000, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a great game. Again, it's one of those games you actually need the manual, because one thing you'd do is you'd start. You're a little diver, and there are always 4 fish coming at you from either side, and you can shoot the fish. That's pretty much it, and you'll run out of air at some point. But nobody explains to you that you can actually dive further down, and I mean the design of the screen here doesn't really afford that you can do that. It doesn't show you that you can do that. But what you need to do is dive down. The screen will scroll down once more, and then there'll be 4 more fish you can shoot. And at the bottom, there will always be a treasure chest, I guess it is. Yeah. So you need to dive down, pick up the treasure chest, dive up again, and there will be a mermaid when you come back up. And I think it's a mermaid. Maybe it's just a damsel in distress.
Yeah, what is it?
Sure.
Yeah.
And you need to save her or pick her up, and then she'll bring you up to the little turtle. I guess.
So random.
And the turtle that's just your air timer, really. That will reset then, and you're on to the next level. And in the first level, there's only one floor down, if you want to call that. You need to dive down once to find the treasure. Next time you need to dive down through 2 screens and 3 and so forth. And at some point it becomes a race to go all the way down and avoid the fish and come all the way up before your timer and air runs out.
Yeah, and it gets really tight.
It gets really tight and really tough, and the hitbox is quite big, so you need to be really careful. And I've noticed one thing that annoys me a bit is that if you shoot a fish, in modern games you're used to that if you shoot something, then in the very frame that you kill it, it's no longer lethal. But it still is here. So if you shoot a fish and in the next frame or two you still touch it, you'll die.
Yeah. So. Like its bones and guts will splat you and kill you.
Exactly.
The splash from it being shot.
But what a game. I mean, this is so addictive. It's so much a just one more go game. Yeah. And it's been great for the high score challenge.
Yeah. It's like... I'd not fired up this cartridge pretty much on purpose. I mean, my opinion of Atari 2600 games is that they've aged like milk. And that is true for some of them, for sure.
Yeah.
But this is absolute proof that a simple, well-designed game, it doesn't matter how old it is, it's so compulsively playable.
Yep.
And this, you could spend hours just saying, just one more go, because other than some of that annoying stuff, and I think some of the hit detection on the spikes on the walls as well is a little bit off at times, especially when moving from screen to screen. Sometimes it will move you over, sometimes it won't. So it's a little bit rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But it's a full game, though, isn't it? It's not. This is not a demo. It's not. I mean, it's not really rough around the edges.
No, not at all. I mean, why this wasn't released back in the day is a mystery to me, because this is one of my favorite Atari 2600 games now. It's almost up there with Hero, but not quite.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's been talked about on Discord, it's not something that I had a massive issue with, but lots of people is there is some colour clash going on, isn't there?
There is. Your little diver guy is blue, and the water is blue as well.
Most of the time, although occasionally it's pink.
Yes, but the water, it changes its hue between the different layers and levels, and sometimes the levels are in a color blue that makes it quite impossible to see the diver. And especially if you're playing this on the original Evercade, it becomes impossible in a few levels, because you really can't see where you are. You need to be shooting all the time and then just guess from that where you are.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing, if this was released in a modern fashion now, there would be accessibility options, and it would be ensured that people could actually see it.
Yeah.
The way we perceive and visualize colors is different for all of us, and there are some people who've had real problems in making out your character, the diver. Matt has just had a very lucky escape there for anybody watching the video. Got away with one.
Yeah.
But it is a game that you just get better with. You get better at all the time, don't you? It's like every go, you just feel like you can get through one more screen. And the thing that kind of was a revelation, I think, for both of us, is that when we realised that, or I think it was Rich Monster Hyde told us, you don't actually need to go and get the treasure.
No, that's true.
Which it does change up. So if you get a couple of screens down and you've had a bit of a nightmare dodging the fish, Mads is demonstrating this, you can simply just go back up.
Yeah.
And you'll progress to the next,
did you ever do that, Chris? Because I want that treasure.
I did a couple of times.
That's the only thing I want. That's the only focus I have. So I don't think I've ever done it. I just go straight down. I want to get that treasure and get back up again. And you can play this game in 2 ways.
Yeah.
There is, and I'm no expert. I'm far behind the other guys on the high score challenge. But for me, you can play it in 2 ways. There is the obstacle course. That is only shoot what is actually threatening you right now, because you get points not only for shooting fish, but also for traversing the levels. So you get points for every level you dive down.
If you get the treasure.
If you get the treasure, you get points for the treasure, and you get points for the mermaid, and in the end as well. So you don't need to shoot all of the fish in any way. So one is just the obstacle course, trying to avoid them all, and shooting a few fish that you can't avoid. The other is the hunter, of course. Try to kill every single fish, and the fish, they have 2 modes that they're in. In the first mode, they move slowly, but they're quite big. If you shoot them, they'll be replaced by their line. I mean, they have 4 fish on the screen, and they each have their own horizontal line that they're swimming. Their line will be replaced by a new, smaller, and much, much faster fish. So that's harder to dodge and harder to cross, but has a smaller hitbox, I guess. Yeah. So you can just be the hunter and kill all the fish on your way down, pick up the treasure, and then the game of avoiding them on the way up is different because they're moving fast. That means you don't get into those situations where you can see, oh man, there's a really, really hard pattern to get through here. You can kind of, the pattern beforehand, and you can time it a bit better. But at the same time, you need to be sure that you move quickly because they are moving really fast on those horizontal lines.
Yeah, and I think the way to max out the score is to shoot them on the way down because you get more points for shooting them before you get the treasure than you do afterwards.
I didn't know.
Not massive. I
know King Trilo said his hint was you can shoot the fish, but just not the second to last one on the screen.
And I think that is the secret to success, I think.
Okay.
Because then it just gives you that window. Because I would always be taken out by that second darting one.
Okay.
That is the secret. Because then you basically can hide in that line with the slow moving fish.
Yeah. So when you enter the screen going back up, there will only be one fish at screen, and that would be the second one from the bottom.
Yeah.
And you can see that. So if you enter the line of that one, you can hide there until you can see that there's a hole.
Then you can time it, and that is the way to do it. So I think the real kind of I was watching a YouTube video of a high score, which to be honest was no higher than what our very own Plasticman scored.
Okay.
But that's what they were doing is they were just leaving one fish on the screen, diving into that lane, and then timing the. But by the time you get to like the 4th or 5th screen, the air is going so fast.
Yes,
you don't have time.
No, you need to be really, really quick.
You really can't stop moving for more than a second. If you do, then your air will expire and you'll die. The good thing is, if you've already picked up the treasure on that screen, you won't lose those points.
Okay.
And you can only get so far doing this, but if you get to a point where you can't really progress, you can just keep picking up the treasure, and at least it will give you 10,000 points for every life, 3 lives, and then it's done.
Yeah. Great game, right?
I love it. Yeah, I love it, and I think it's definitely one that I can see myself going back to just for a quick 10 minutes every now and again. It's perfect for those little windows we all have every day. 10 minutes of just.
This game is perfect handheld game fodder. It's a game you just play before going to sleep or something like that. I've when we did the high score challenge, I played it handheld in bed when I was going to sleep, and always had just one more go, and then play for half an hour every night. So
what score did you get, mate?
I forget, about 150,000.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what score you got.
Is that because I got less than you, mate?
Yes.
Go ahead, then.
So I might just give Jim's score as well. So Jim, second to last, Wise Mint, 130,500. Then your good self, mate, 146,875. And then a huge gap to 6th place, me, 167,375.
Well done, mate.
In this brave new world, I'm in the lead.
Mm-hmm. True. So I'm going to have to get back on that, it seems.
Plasticman, no, it's done now. It's too late.
Damn it.
Plasticman, 370,375. That was a whopper, and that was like 90,000 clear of Little Donny in second place.
Yeah, well done. That's a massive score.
Mine was a massive score, I know.
Oh, yeah, of course it was. Moving on, we'll be looking at asteroids, because that's on the cartridge as well.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've never been a fan of this game, so I didn't like it on this version either. It's a good version of asteroids, I think, but it's just boring. But
yeah, it is a good version of this. I think Jim knows asteroids quite well. I was chatting to Jim about it, and he was saying that he thinks it's very, very basic, probably more basic than you and I appreciate it because of the patterns of the way the asteroids move.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was a bit lost on me. Yeah, I'm like you. I can appreciate asteroids for what it was at the time, but I wouldn't say it's far from my favourite. Should I just read what the blurb says here?
Sure.
So it says, does Asteroid really need this? Maybe not. Out on a routine patrol, you suddenly find yourself in the middle of an asteroid assault with deadly debris approaching from all directions. You have no choice but to vaporise the rocks for as long as you can. Equipped with your trusty blast and a few other tricks, what are the tricks? You'll need to make rubble of these rocks before they do the same to you. Stay alert. The asteroids aren't the only dangers out there. It's a classic arcade game, isn't it? It was a revelation at the time because of the display, and which is obviously lost with the Atari 2600 port. That vector display popping off the screen, lighting up a dark arcade. Now we get multicolored asteroids, but the gameplay's there, I think, isn't it?
I think it is. For me, it's asteroids, but again, I don't really appreciate that game, so I'm probably not the right person to talk about it. But yeah, I think that the basic parts of the gameplay is there. It's avoid the asteroids, and you have this inertia. It's when you're flying, you boost, and then you gradually lose speed. But and you need to control the area like that, and of course you shoot forward. So just flying around, boosting, trying to avoid the rocks. I guess they are the little asteroids here.
And little blobs of blancmange.
And that's it. Clear the screen onto the next level. Clear the screen onto the next level.
I think what James was talking about, what Jim was talking about, was the fact that the asteroids only move vertically.
They don't. That's just in these earlier levels, I think.
Okay, so they do get a bit more variety, do they?
I'm pretty sure. I had a very long gameplay session of this at one point. You can see if you shoot them here as well, they start going horizontally as well. And later on, there's more horizontal movement. But so you can't just stay in one place in the later levels. You need to maneuver around a bit. But
okay, all right. Well, that's good, because otherwise that could get quite repetitive. But the one thing I wanted to say about this, so on the cartridge for the original 2600 cart, it advertises that there's 66 video games on this.
66?
Of course, 66 different games. Now, of course, that is a complete load of nonsense.
Let's see. I'm flipping through game modes here.
You'll get to 66.
Okay, let's try the 66th game mode then.
Mads is through 30. He's through 40. He's through 50. He's through 60.
Okay.
66.
So now I'm in game mode 66. I am not really seeing the difference. Are you?
So they're faster.
They're faster, yes.
And it'll be two-player.
And there's
it'll be alternating two-player.
Oh shit!
It'll be the difference. And Matt's dead.
Oh yeah, it's alternating two-player. Yes.
Which is there's all kinds of variations, and they're all set out in the original 2600 manual. You can read it. Speed of ships, 1 or 2 players, all the rest of it. On the Evercade, there is no way of knowing what any of these game modes mean.
Nope.
Unless you are going to be very perceptive and try every one and try and spot the difference, you're not going to know at all.
So again, this is where Evercade.info is your friend.
Yes, but it's also where I think it just falls down a little bit on this cart, in that you shouldn't have to go to an external resource.
No, that's true.
There should be something on there, and if there is something on there, then I haven't seen it.
No, and you'd say there is place, because in the carousel, when you click the game, it doesn't just start immediately. You get this little screen that describes you stuff about the game, and there is place here to write. They have the controls written down and stats about your gameplay on it, but it should be able to have a bit more text here, and just at least on Atari 2600 games, describe the modes, because on the Atari 2600 you'd be pressing the select button and switching between game modes. That's how games worked, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and there should be some kind of list of what the game modes mean, and that isn't a problem just for that game. There are others on the cart as well.
Yep.
For instance, the next one I'm going to talk about that advertises 8 different games. Again, you don't know what those 8 game modes are.
So let's go to the next one then.
Oh, this one does. So this one does say actually, on the info.
The description has it. Let's see. It says, this is Canyon Bomber, by the way. It says, take to the skies and test your accuracy in Canyon Bomber. Compete against a computer or another player to see who has the steadiest aim as you drop bombs on targets in canyons or take out ships in the sea. On its face, there isn't a whole lot to Canyon Bomber, but it's in the simple mechanics that the true brilliance of the game shines. Whether you're playing on your own or against another player, everything comes down to your timing and chosen target. Miss too many times and you'll find yourself on the losing end quite quickly. try out different modes to play with alternate rules and targets. And I'm going to read this out again now because we just talked about the modes. Normally we wouldn't read all of this out. But it says to play Canyon in Canyon Bomber mode, choose modes 1 to 6. For Sea Bomber mode, choose modes 7 or 8. And it says here that modes 1, 3, and 7 pit you against the computer. Modes 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8 pit you against a second player. There's a lot to remember there, right?
It is.
But that sounds as if I should try mode 1 and 7.
Yeah.
I guess. Yes, 1 and 7.
A very simple game.
Yes, very simple game indeed. This game reminds me of something as well, and I forget which game it is. It reminds me of, and that annoys me right now.
Yeah, so there's a game by Jeff Minter that got a little bit of heat because isn't it called Bomb Buenos Aires or something?
Could be.
Where you have to destroy a city, and instead of in this where the canyons are, you've got buildings of a city and you have to bomb them and you get points for as many. And it got a bit of heat in the 80s because it was off the back of the Falklands War, which Britain were involved in, and it was about bombing a city. This is less controversial. This is notable though, mate. 1978, this is the first game programmed by one David Crane.
Okay, really? I didn't know.
So that, I think they should have made a bit more of that on the description because this isn't, it's not a massively playable game nowadays.
So for those who are actually just listening and not watching, in Canyon Bomber, you play with one button because you are throwing bombs by throwing one button down from a plane or a helicopter. It changes from time to time, and that just flies either from left to right or right to left, and that alternates as well. And you will control one of the planes, and then the computer or another player controls the other one, and then whoever gets to bomb most squares I guess
you get
to clear out the canyon, get most points, and then you win, and then it's on to the next level, and that's pretty much it. So it's a very, very simple game. You'd need to be in 78 for this to be any fun. I'm sorry to say, but very, very simple game. So I didn't read the manual before when I played this the last time, so I have never tried game mode 7. But in game mode 7, when it's a sea bomber, then your targets are actually moving. Because then
it's actually more interesting.
Yeah, it is. Then you have again, your two planes, you and your opponent have two lines you're flying on, but there are 5 lines of ships as well moving around. So you're not just bombing squares in the canyon; you're trying to hit moving targets. And again, it's just you get so much time to fly over this ocean, and then whoever gets the most points in the end will win.
Yeah, it's paused for an arcade game from 1977, which is more playable, I think. It's a little bit more convincing. It did deeper canyons on the screen, and it moves quicker and it's more interesting. But definitely on the 2600, which I don't think this Sea Bomber was part of the original arcade game. But this Sea Bomber is definitely a more interesting variation, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
Because you have to time your shots, don't you, to hit the ships. And
there's a bit of, the bombs, they move slower through the water as well, so there's a bit of stuff to think about there. But one thing that confuses me a bit is that if you're watching the video here, you can see I just threw a bomb that actually went through 2 ships without killing them. So I'm not quite sure what I need to do. I'm only capable of sinking the ships on the bottom row right now because
Are you suggesting David Crane's code in there?
Or maybe that I just don't understand how to bomb ships. Could be.
Yeah. So are you the yellow helicopter there?
I'm the yellow helicopter right now. Yes.
I've never managed to beat the computer.
No, I think I have in the Canyon Bomber once, but nothing spectacular happens. So
I think it's one of the. I think if you had a friend and you were sitting next to each other,
exactly.
I think that Sea Bomber might be fun for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not one of the highlights of the card.
No. There's it's a wide variety of games here, and it's only half of them that's actually worth playing, really. So let's just go on to the next one, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So the next one is Centipede. Can you read us the little description here? Of course, everybody knows Centipede, the arcade game.
Shall I read this one?
Yes.
So it says, the peace-loving elves of the Enchanted Forest are being terrorized by pests, a troublesome flea, a mischievous spider, a poisonous scorpion, and worst of all, a giant centipede. It's up to the heroic elf Oliver. Really? Is that a thing?
That's me, I guess.
The character of Centipede has a name?
I don't know.
Heroic elf Oliver to use his magic wand to fend off these fiends and chase them away from the mushroom garden for good. What a load of nonsense.
Yes. I mean, in these back in those days, the story it didn't seem to have any coherence or anything like that. So I am an elf, it seems, but what I really am in this version of Centipede is that I'm a red square, and I can shoot stuff on the screen.
This is going to sound horrendous, but it's not meant to be horrendous, and it isn't meant that way. But this is the first game designed for women.
Okay.
Because it was designed by a woman.
Yeah.
And it was Donna Bailey, wasn't it, who collaborated with Ed Logg to create the arcade game. And the press at the time, I'm saying that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, of course this isn't a game for women, it's a game for everybody. But the press really seized upon that. And if you read some of the reviews from Centipede on the various platforms it was released on, you'll see a lot of that stuff, that this is a game, for women like this game, a game for women.
So I wonder what about being a little square at the bottom of the screen, trying to shoot stuff moving down, kind of like Space Invaders plus style.
Yeah, exactly.
How does that appeal to women specifically?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I suppose if you know, or you see that square as Oliver and he's cleaning up the garden, I don't know. It's nonsense, isn't it? But that was the way it was marketed.
Okay.
I really like this.
I love Centipede. I've always loved it. I definitely prefer the arcade version, but I think this is a very serviceable version. I had great fun playing this. We could have done a high score challenge on this
easily, although I'm completely useless at it.
I am too. There's 2 game modes, and one of the game modes, if you press, I don't know if there's 2, but I can see at least a difference when I press the select button. If you press the select button, then this little teddy bear shows up at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if you've seen that next to your score, and I don't know what that means. Do you?
No idea.
So next time, Chris, before we record, we'll promise each other to actually read the stuff on Deadlock's homepage. So there's easy and normal modes, isn't there? I know that much. Okay.
So maybe that teddy bear just...
Yeah, I'm in easy mode. I thought this was getting easier. So teddy bear is easy mode. Makes sense.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I only ever played in normal, of course, mate.
Yeah, of course. Well, me too.
Jim's really good at this,
I just figured out that there was... Jim would be playing it. We know Jim from playing Dark Souls. He's definitely playing it in teddy bear mode.
Yeah, you can move... you did know that. Yeah, Jim's good at this, though, and he got a good score. He was boasting about the score he got. It's a good port. It's a really good port. And if you back in 1981 or whenever this was released, 1983, I think it was actually released, back then, if you'd had this and this was your only way to experience Centipede at home, I think you're pretty happy.
Yeah, definitely.
With what you brought home from the shops. Yeah. Again, there are, now that we have loads of different ways to play the arcade version of Centipede, maybe it isn't one that you'll spend a huge amount of time on, but it is playable.
It is definitely playable, and if you have this cartridge plugged in, I mean, why not? It's a good way of playing Centipede. I like it.
And if you have the original Centipede cart, it came with a comic.
It did? Okay.
Yeah.
I do have the original cart, but I didn't buy it from new, so I don't have a comic.
Where it tells you the story of the cutesy elf Oliver. And I imagine that comic probably goes for a pretty penny nowadays.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So he's a bit of a square though, but enough about that.
One of the better games on the cart, I would say, though.
Yeah, definitely, very very enjoyable. But we're getting to some good games here now. I mean, the next one is Crystal Castles.
Yeah,
which is really good as well. You want to read that?
Yeah, Crystal Castles. Bentley Bear is trapped in the Crystal Castles. To get out, he will need to collect all the gems located throughout the castle. When Bentley collects all the gems on the current castle, he will move on to the next, more difficult castle. Yep. Simple as that, really.
Simple as that. From 83. It's a simple game, but a really addictive one as well.
I love Crystal Castles.
Yeah, me too. Again, an arcade game. Okay, arcade port on the Atari 2600 here.
And we played this. This was one of the games when we did Atari 50, which we never ended up recording a podcast on. But when we looked at that Atari 50 in the game club, this was one of the featured games, and we spent a week on this.
Yeah.
And that the arcade port is the arcade emulation of that on Atari 50 is really good. The only downside, and I think this suffers from a similar problem, is that on the cab in the arcade, the original cab, it's controlled with a trackball, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which means that you can fly Bentley Bear around the levels, collecting it's a bit like Pac-Man, isn't it?
It's very much like Pac-Man. Only that the pellets are, you can walk past the pellets. That actually annoys me a bit.
Yeah.
You can't, of course, walk past the pellets in Pac-Man, but you can here. But I find this very playable, though. This version is quite good.
Mate, this is the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be capable of things like this. This is a 3D maze game.
Yeah.
And there are definitely issues about kind of seeing what you're doing from time to time and seeing like what plane you're on.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's all there, isn't it? Like all the enemies are there. The moving platforms are there. The witch's hat is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a full port of an arcade game, which even of itself deserves a lot of credit. Programmed by a guy called Peter Nide, the Atari version.
Yeah.
To be honest, what it made me do, though, it made me want to go and fire up the arcade version.
Yeah. That's how it's going to be with many of these Atari games, isn't it? They are arcade ports, and these days we can play the arcade ports so easily. So many of them, they'll just whet your appetite for the real thing. But I think, the many details that are in here with the elevators, whatever you call that.
Yeah, the moving platforms.
Yeah, moving platforms, and the 3D view that actually works, and your movement in 3D that works, even though, as you can see if you're watching the video version here, sometimes you'll be running past the pellets instead of picking them up, and that's a bit annoying. But once you get honed into it, it's quite good.
Yeah, that becomes a problem on the harder levels when the enemies are a bit more aggressive and there's more of them.
Yeah,
you might only get one pass at a particular part of the level to pick up the pellets, and if you run past them, that's it. You're dead.
Yeah. But I find this very, very impressive for the 2600.
Yeah, massively so. Again, it's one of those that if this is what you had and you love the arcade game and this is all you had to play at home, you'd be very happy.
Yeah, indeed.
With what you had. It's really good.
It is. Should we just move on to the next one?
Let's move on. Next one's interesting.
So what do we got here? Desert Falcon. Okay.
Yeah.
Desert Falcon. So it says, Desert Falcon is an arcade-style isometric shoot-'em-up. Many of the Pharaoh's great treasures are lost throughout the desert, and your goal is to steal as many as you can to earn points. So we're just stealing Pharaoh's treasures.
Yeah.
We're not getting them back.
That's what you should do with Pharaohs.
Okay. So the game features a scrolling isometric point of view as you control your falcon through the various desert landscapes.
So what did you know about this then before playing this on the Evercade?
Nothing really.
No.
Actually.
1987, mate. 1987. About 10 years into the Atari 2600's life, this game was released. Just describe what you're doing here.
See, this is... I would love to, but I don't understand it. I'm flying... Oh, damn it. Now I flew. I'm flying... I am a falcon. I am a bird. But a bird that shoots, I guess.
And you can land.
And I can land. Right now, I'm actually not flying. I'm just walking around.
The animation's really nice, though.
It is
on the flying,
bird,
isn't it? It looks. So it's a simple game in many ways. It's very plain. You're flying over a desert landscape. There are treasures on the ground that Mads
that I'm not picking up right now, but
and every time that you collect 3 treasures, you'll get something. It'd be a point bonus or something like that. So the idea is to try and collect 3 of the same kind of treasures.
Yeah.
And the game keeps a tally of the treasures that you're collecting, and it's a point chaser, and you're also trying to get through the levels. At the end of each level, you'll come up against the boss.
Yeah.
So you'll come up against a sphinx, and the idea then is you've got to shoot the sphinx in the mouth. And I didn't really know what to do. That was all in the original manual. The problem is, and Mads' experience in this here is that the problem is it's hard to tell whether the enemies are flying or on the ground. So you have to look at the shadows to try and work out whether if you're flying, you will avoid them. Like that one is on the ground, so you can just fly over it.
And those shadows there. Oh, sometimes I find I get shot by stuff that's just flickering around the screen, and I don't even see what is actually there.
Yeah, and it's hard to know what's shooting you. Yeah. And then you can also, which is the problem with these. Like for instance, I'm not a fan of Zaxxon at all. I can never work out what's going to hit me, what level I'm on, and that is a bit of you've just been hit there by something flying. So you can fly into those buildings and that will kill you as well, but it's hard to know kind of, because of the kind of the faux 3D aspect, it's hard to know where the hit box for the building is. So there are a few issues here, definitely. But, I spent about 2 hours playing this game in one sitting and really got into it. I got to about level 6 in the end.
Wow, nice.
And it was really good. And the levels get faster, so it gets to a point where there's more enemies. They'll start firing projectiles at you. At the end, you get to the boss is always the same, but it starts shooting at you and it gets a little bit more complicated. But once you get used to it and you get used to the aspects, you start... Look, Mads has just got to the first boss here, which is... It's a funny-looking thing, really, the Sphinx, but it's impressive in its own little way.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I mean, for me, I didn't really click with this game, but I like what you're describing. And maybe I should give it some more time. But I got to this boss and I didn't know what to do. I've never been past.
No, you got to shoot it in the mouth. So you've got it, and it can be hard to line up your shots, but you're doing the right thing. But you've just got to try and go into like almost kind of middle height.
Yeah,
you go to middle height, and it only takes one shot. If you get it right, it will. I mean, once you get used to it, you can take out those bosses in seconds. The most annoying thing about the game, though, is being shot by those kind of flickering projectiles that you can't see.
Yeah, I find that I die all the time. I avoid the monsters. But I die all the time by invisible enemies that I don't really know is there. So that's what annoyed me, and that's why I actually just stopped playing it.
Yeah, this is one of those games that I can almost guarantee that your first inclination, playing this game for 5 or 10 minutes, your first inclination will be to say, "Oh, this is rubbish, turn it off." But stick with it. It would be my suggestion. If you stick with it and have a decent go at it, you'll get better at it.
Yeah, interesting.
And it is actually, I think this is a really decent game.
Okay.
Probably the one that I spent, after Aquaventures, the one that I spent the second most time. I've come back to this a few times. I've probably spent about 5 hours playing this.
Cool. So you made me want to play it at least. So for the listeners, that was Desert Falcon that Chris says we should actually try to spend a bit of time on.
Yeah, I think so. I would recommend that one.
Okay, cool.
Unlike
conscious of time, mate, I'm just going to move ahead because we're spending a lot of time here. This is the first time, listeners, that we're trying to do a project like this, so we don't know if this is going to be a 3-hour episode for you guys. But
no, we're trying. We can certainly move, we can certainly speed up.
Yeah. So the next game is Double Dunk, an Atari 2600 game again from '89. You want to read this one?
Oh, yeah. Double Dunk is a simulation of 2-on-2 half-court basketball. Teams have 2 on-screen characters, a shorter outside man and a taller inside man. Really, that is all it. You need to know.
Yep.
I haven't got much to say on this, mate. This was a pretty short-lived thing for me.
Yep. I think I managed about 5 minutes and I thought, nah, I don't want this.
It's really difficult to know what's going on because of the flickering sprites. I even found it difficult to get into a game. Look, I mean, the flights are... How are you supposed to work out what's going on?
Who am I? Where's the ball? And what am I supposed to do with it?
The only thing I would say is that there were only ever 2 basketball games released for the Atari 2600 in its 15 years commercial lifespan and more since.
Okay.
That if you're a massive basketball fan, you didn't really have a lot of choice.
No.
But it's a really difficult game to play now. Crikey.
Yeah, it is for sure. So it is just 2-on-2 basketball, but even on this would be the default level, I guess. The opponents are moving really fast. So I have the ball right now, I'm running around, and now I haven't got it anymore. So the idea is just to grab the ball, get into the light area in the middle, and then go for a shot. And it's not much fun now, is it?
No. If you were desperate for a basketball game, and maybe then you'd spend some time with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think sports games on retro platforms are the ones that generally age the worst.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
This is no exception.
No. Moving on. Let's go on to true classic. Man, this is a contender for best game on this cartridge.
Yeah,
as well. So food fight. So can read this
I'll
one.
read this one.
Okay, you can go ahead.
It says, "Hurry, step right up, and you're just desserts." Oh, I read the last one, didn't I? Sorry, mate.
No worries.
Once there was a fellow named Charlie Chuck. More than anything, Charlie loved to eat. So when he went to the carnival, he headed straight for the food fight contest. Delicious ice cream cones were on offer, but Charlie would have to get past an assortment of chefs to lay claim to his prize.
Exactly. So that actually describes the game quite well. There are bundles of food on the screen. Yeah. You need to pick it up and throw it at the chefs that are trying to throw food at you, and go eat the ice cream. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, an arcade game. It's the beauty of the game. I love this one. So let's pick up some food, throw it at the chefs.
Such a simple game.
Yeah, and then look at the animation when he eats the ice cream. He does this whole python snake thing. I mean, his mouth grows at an alarming rate, and then he kind of
his whole head opens up.
Yep.
And he eats the ice cream.
Yeah, and it's a great high score challenge game.
So playable.
Quickly becomes a lot more difficult, but you need to preserve the food, actually, because the way you score a high score in food fight is by not using that much of the food, because the food becomes bonuses afterwards. So there's plenty of food on the screen, and you can take food from one round and bring it into the next one, I believe. But there's plenty of food on the screen to throw at the chefs, but you should use as little as possible, because that's how you get a high score.
That's right. And you can carry forward to the next screen an item of food, can't you, if you're holding it?
You can.
Which is really handy as the game. I mean, the arcade game's much more difficult, but the port actually, the first good few levels are relatively straightforward, aren't they?
Yep.
But once you start to get to like level 12, you really need to be holding an item of food when you go into the next level, because they'll be right on you straight away. And you've got to get to that ice cream before it melts and you see the horrific animation. But it's a really solid port. This is an Atari 5200 game. There's not many of those, if any, more on this cart. And it's all there. Even the instant replay is there, which I was really surprised at. I wasn't expecting that to be there. If you get the ice cream and you just avoid one of the, you might even get it there. If you get to the ice cream and you just avoid one of the chefs, you'll get a bit of music, and the whole level will replay in like a TV style presentation fashion. You just fell down the hole, Matt.
I did.
Really, really impressive for 1984. This would have made an excellent high score game if we needed an alternative.
Yeah, great game for people to have at home. I mean, this is beauty of an arcade port, if you ask me.
Is it a 5200 game or is it a 7800 game?
I forget right now, but we'll check once I go out of the game again. So we can just look at the stats. But right now, I'm trying to get a high score, of course. Again, this is a game that Jim is quite good at, so would be good fun.
It is a 7800 game. This not a 5200 game, but it's really good, and it's definitely definitely one of the most playable games on the cart.
Yeah, indeed. So I'm just trying to, for the ones looking right now, to let the ice cream melt without me dying. To just see what
happens there?
Because I forget what happens if the ice cream.
You know, this game is based on the food fight scene from Animal House.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. The original arcade game was inspired by that. Oh.
So if the ice cream melts, you get hit by all of the food on the screen that's left on the screen, and you die. So that's it. No, such a playable game. It's a single screen game where your objective is to avoid the chefs, throw the food at them to... Well, they don't disappear completely. They just go away for a little while and come back in. And then you need to get from one end of the screen to the other and pick up the ice cream, and then you're on to the next level, right?
Classic arcade game.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff.
Next up, mate, Gravitar.
Gravitar. So it says it's again a 2600 game from '83. It says the evil being called Gravitar is attempting to destroy the universe. With each galaxy it conquers, it leaves behind extreme gravitational forces, an explosive reactor, and deadly bunkers. Your mission is to stop Gravitar by taking back the 12 solar systems located in 4 galaxies that are under his control. So let's see what Gravitar is all about.
This is a really, really difficult game.
Oh, yes.
So this is like a combination of thrust and a shooter.
Mm.
And it's somewhere, isn't it, between thrust, asteroids, and just a conventional shooter. But that has just died straight away. You've got to avoid being sucked into the sun.
Yeah.
So your first thing you've got to do when the game starts is you've got to get to one of the planets.
Yes.
Whilst avoiding a spaceship and avoiding the gravity. So you're using that asteroid style, like thrust inertia.
Yeah, but this time, as the name says, there's gravity. So you're being pulled towards the sun, and when you enter the levels of the planets here, you're being pulled to. There's just simple gravity. So you're
being pulled down. So your first task, before you even think about shooting anything, your first task is that you've just got to keep the damn thing controlled. And what you don't want to, it looks a bit like a phallic, doesn't it, mate?
It does.
Shape.
So you are an inverted T flying around when you're in the levels, and Chris's mind went to the gutter immediately.
It did,
of course.
Absolutely.
Yes, but,
so the idea is, in each level, is to destroy the weapons or destroy the gun installations, and then you go into this star base. And the more of these things that you've destroyed, the easier the route is. So if you go straight into the starbase, you have to navigate around a maze, get to the center, destroy it, and then you go on to the next solar system and do the same thing again.
Yeah,
it's not a bad game. It is not a bad game.
But it's a hard
just
one.
So difficult.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I could definitely, back in the day, if I had this, I can definitely see myself doing this over and over and over again, because it's not unenjoyable at all. It's just so hard. It would be more fun. A modern approach to this would have infinite lives, because it is so hard. So you just have infinite lives and be throwing yourself at it over and over again.
Yeah, almost like a kind of Meat Boy kind of thing where it just instantly reloads.
But having to do this over and over again and then dying and then starting from scratch sounds a bit rough to me.
So Mads has just done a good job there. You just destroyed one of those.
I got one of the
bases, haven't you?
Yeah.
But some of them, like this, is really hard. You've got to get around the outside of this weird, looks like a Space Invader. Actually, Buddy, doesn't the shape?
And again, the gravity is now different because you're being pulled towards the ground there.
Yeah.
But it's not down. Oh, damn.
It's very, very
I like this game, and I could definitely see myself spending a lot more time and getting better at this, because it is a game you can get better at. It's hard, but it's not. See, I just got one more planet down there. It's hard, but it's not impossible by any way.
Yeah, it's really playable. It's good. And that spaceship there's just come out of the enemy base, which ultimately, your ultimate objective in each solar system is to destroy the enemy base. And then you just go on to not that I ever did that. I got close. I got into it. I got to the center of the enemy base of the destroyed it, but then you've got to escape. And you've got a time limit to escape, and you have to be really good. But you know what this game is? It's pure skill.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
And it's one of those that you could get good at it. It would just take a lot of practice.
I can't help but wonder whether this would be, on the Evercade VS or the Evercade handheld, you're playing it with a D-pad, of course. I can't help but wonder whether a game like this would be better with a joystick, with the
I think so.
Thrusting. So I'd actually like to see, at some point, plug in my arcade controller and have a go at this again, because I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah. It just takes a lot of patience. It's a game that if
you had it back in the day, this would, it would have been a great game. One you could throw yourself at for months, I think.
Yeah, there are 12 different solar systems.
Yeah.
Such a huge amount of game there.
Definitely. So that was Gravitar. Yeah. Again, a good game that I think you should try when you plug in this cartridge.
I think so. Now
we get to a very, very famous, I guess, arcade game, Missile Command. One that I accidentally the other day said that I never appreciated, and then, well, it is just true. I find it kind of boring, but let's get into it. It's a 1981 game on the Atari 2600, and you get to read the very important history of why we're actually doing this. Why are we shooting down all of these missiles?
Yeah, so it's interesting that they've set this in like almost like an alien setting. So the peaceful Zardonians are under attack from the wicked Krytolians, who are launching interplanetary ballistic missiles that threaten to wipe out the planet Zardon once and for all. It's up to you to take control of Zardon's defense system and knock those missiles out of the sky before they can harm the peaceful citizens. Now, of course, Missile Command was released at a time when the world was feeling the tensions of the Cold War, and it felt like nuclear war we weren't ever that far away from it. So it was very it was very consequential, I think, for the people playing it. It had that kind of sinister, oh God, could this really happen?
Yes.
Whereas this sets the game on in an alien setting to try and just distance itself from real world events. But the game itself is Missile Command, isn't it?
It's good old Missile Command. So you have 6 missile, well, not missile launchers, whatever, flag cannons, I guess, something like that. So you shoot down the missiles that are incoming, and the missiles will hit your cannons. If you don't get them shut, you'll slowly lose your cannons, and you'll be shooting. You have less firepower left, I guess. Now, really, in this version, you only have one cannon. What you're defending is I guess these are buildings. You have one cannon and you have 6 buildings, and you need to stop all of the missiles before the buildings are gone, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then, so you only have one base, whereas I think in the arcade version, you have 3, don't you? You have one on each side of the screen as well?
I forget. But I've definitely played more than one, a version where what you lose is your guns. So initially you can shoot for example, 6 shots at the same time. But then if you lose one of your guns, you'll be shooting slower. But that doesn't seem to be the case here.
Yeah. I find Missile Command really playable, mate. And this is a fantastic port. All the strategy of and like almost like the multitasking gameplay is all there, isn't it? I mean, once you get past the first couple of levels, what you need to do is you don't need to aim your anti-missile guns where the missiles are. You need to aim them where they're going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you can take out more than one at once, then happy days, because your blast has like a tail, doesn't it? It will stick around. So if you can take out more than one, but it becomes really frantic really quickly. And I love watching high-level Missile Command players playing, because they're just constantly laying down the missiles, and you're thinking, well, why have you put it there? And then next minute, everything's just blowing up. So it's a game about skill and anticipation, and I've always really, really liked it. And this is a really solid port. It lends itself really well, I think, to the 2600.
I mean, definitely. It's very smooth and fluid and fast controlling. So if you like your Missile Command, this is probably a really good port.
Yeah.
So I'm getting into trouble here.
Yeah, it's super playable, and as you know,
it is.
You feel like you're doing really well for the first 2 or 3 levels, and then all of a sudden it ramps up, and then you're struggling.
And that's just like the arcade game, really.
Yeah, your cities start going, and then the wheels are falling off, and then before you know it, you're dead. Again, this would have made a really good high score challenge, I think, for us. You get given extra points for the amount of bases that you have.
I guess it's just my lack of patience really these days, because I find the getting to where it's actually hard is just annoying, because the first couple of levels are really, really easy. It's only now, we've been talking about this for a while, it's not only now it's starting to get fun, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see what you mean, yeah. Notice the way you get that mushroom cloud when your city gets hit.
Yeah.
This must have been terrifying, I think, in the 80s.
Yes, I think you're right.
When it was
which is why they put it in outer space this time. Let's see what happens if I get hit instead. Let's see. Let them destroy the city here.
Yeah, it goes pretty quickly.
It does. If you just stop defending yourself, it's
it'll be game over almost immediately. There is another Easter egg in this game as well. I think it's on level 13. There is something that you can do, and the initials RF will appear. So this was the Atari version was coded by Rob Fulop.
Okay.
And Rob Flop's initials are in the game.
Rob Flop. Okay.
Rob Flop.
Yeah.
Not Flop. Fulop.
No, but again, a very playable game. And if you like Missile Command, definitely a good version to play. So, yeah. A respectable game, indeed.
Motor Psycho is next.
Motor Psycho. Oh, yes. That's an Atari 7800 game.
Atari's answer to Hang On, mate.
Yeah, okay. That explains why I thought it was boring.
Go for it.
Okay. Rev her up and let her rip. The winner's circle awaits in Motor Psycho, a fast and frenzied motorcycle racing game. Race through 4 different tracks as quickly as possible while maximizing your score. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah. I didn't really get on with this.
Nah, me neither. It's but again, I'm not the right person to judge this game at all because there are very few racing games that I actually do appreciate. So
so Mad says immediately they're starting off in high gear, which is not the thing that you ought to do maximize speed. The problem I have, and I think a lot of 8-bit racing games suffer from this, is that your sprite of the bike is so big that it takes up almost half of the road.
Yeah.
And so there's never... And you can jump. Yeah, there you go. You can jump and you get
jump
points.
2 meters up in the air.
Exactly. You can jump. You're almost in the clouds when you jump. And the idea is, I think, if you jump over the line and the lap, you get extra points.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a terrible looking game. There's no brakes as well, so in order to get around the corners, you have to
just let go of the accelerator.
No, you have to shift down.
Oh yeah, you can do that as well. Of course.
So you have to shift down, and that's how you can get around the. The other quirky thing about this is that you can set the angle, so you can see in the top right corner there, mate. You've got a straighten 20 and turn 10. So in the manual, there's stuff about you can change the angle at which you come out of the bends and how quickly you straighten up.
Okay. I didn't know.
I don't know. I mean, talk about over-engineered. I mean, just make an arcade game where you got to get around the track right.
Yeah.
The other thing is you're not racing. So you're just racing against the clock, in outrun, hang-on fashion. Yeah. But you get points for every bike that you pass. You get a point. But there's not even a race to keep you interested.
No.
4 tracks, each with a different colour scheme. Very generic.
Yeah, I must admit I played this 5 minutes tops, and I thought, no.
I can tell from your performance on there.
You any better, mate?
Well, it did manage to get through a few laps.
Oh, you did?
It's not for me.
No. It's a game we should have Matt test for us.
Yeah, there are not many racing options. There's only this and Night Driver, which really is included as an historic curio.
Yeah.
But there isn't really that many racing options on the cart.
So let's get straight into Night Driver then, because that's the next one. Night Driver is from 1980, 2600 one. So
So the blurb on this one. Race the midnight roads in Night Driver, a challenging action racing game. Your goal is to score as many points as possible while racing through one of 4 different tracks. Points are scored by passing checkpoints located throughout the track.
Yep.
Sounds like most other racing games. The thing...
It does.
It's just the age of this game, isn't it? That is impressive. This was released in the arcades in 1976.
Yes.
So one of the very first, if not the first... racing game.
It's one of those games where they said that about the arcade game as well, that you're actually not racing because when you're accelerating, you're moving the road and not the car. So your car is fixed in the middle of the screen. I don't know what it looks like. It's what does it look like? 2 H's stuck to each other in some way. So your car is like this blue blurb in the middle of the screen. And when you press the button, you'll accelerate the screen. And the screen is just is an outline of the road made with red rectangles, right? And then there'll be the odd house. Looks just like a house a 3 or 4 year old would draw, And that's the same for the trees that you'll pass. And then every once in a while there'll be a car as well.
Do you remember those video racing games that like had a plastic car on the front and it had like a screen? You put and they would play like a video of a road that you wouldn't control, and you could move the car like in front of the screen. That's what it reminds me of, like a game which isn't a video game, and you're just manipulating everything else apart from the thing that you're supposed to be controlling.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there. This is very, very much not playable, if you ask me. It's no fun. It's a historical curio. Would have been cool to see the original arcade machine at some point.
In 1976.
Exactly. But it's not a game you should play in 2024. Just move along. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, the Atari VCS version was coded also by Rob Flop.
Okay. Yeah.
Our mate Rob Flop. And it should be played with a paddle controller, which, I don't know, may make it a little more playable. I don't know, but
I doubt it.
It is there because it is the port of Night Driver, which is a very historically significant game.
Yeah. Moving on, we are now into weird territory because this is a 7800 game from 1990, and it's Ninja Golf. This is, without a doubt, one of the most stupid things I've ever played in my life.
Shouldn't work this, should it?
But it doesn't. I don't find it.
Oh, you don't like it?
No, it's so stupid. But okay. Here's the blurb. For 10 years, you've been trained to be a ninja. Your master tells you that it's time to take the final, most difficult test. You must complete the game of death. You must play 9 holes of ninja golf. You knew your master was a bit eccentric, but nothing prepared you for this. Sneak in a birdie between deadly kicks while you battle enemy ninjas and deadly creatures. Par for this course means leaving the green littered with fallen foes.
Yes.
So the idea of Ninja Golf is that there are 2 games, really. There's a golf game. You have to, in regular golf game fashion, hit the ball, go to the point where the ball is now, and then hit the ball again until you finally putt it into the hole. But when you move from one hit to the other, you'll have to fight deadly opponents and frogs coming at you. And the golf isn't good fun, and the fighting is bad as well. So, I hated this.
Really?
Yes.
That's
it's so stupid.
I thought this was good.
Really?
Yeah.
Which part did you like?
Okay, kind of like, it's not a great golf game, and it's not a great beat-em-up, but if you fuse the two, it produces something which is far greater than the sum of its parts, I thought.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to aim. So first, there's the golf game. I would have liked to just play the golf game, actually, because the fighting is so bad. So the golf game, you select your angle that you're shooting at. You can see a mini-map, and then there's this little blinking square pixel going up, and you can see, and then you press the button when it's where you want it to go.
Oh, that was perfect.
Yeah. And then we are fighting. So,
and then you're in a side-scrolling beat-em-up, a left-to-righty,
side-scrolling beat-em-up. And there are, what's this, a squirrel? No.
It's a mole.
It's a mole? Is that a mole? That doesn't look
coming
like
out the ground.
Have you ever seen a mole? That's not a mole.
It looks like a mole. A big mole, but it's a mole. The only thing I would say is that it does get quite repetitive.
Quite repetitive? It's horrible. I mean, this makes... no. I can't think of a single beat 'em up game that is worse than this. I really can't.
I don't know. I mean, I think you got to use those shuriken there, mate. That's
I did.
That's it.
So you can use you can kick, and if you sit, then you'll throw a shuriken if you have it instead.
Yeah, and you, depending on where you, so if your ball goes on the idea is if you keep your ball on the fairway, that's where the simplest, the easiest enemies to fight are.
Okay.
Although you wouldn't believe that from Mance's.
Oh, my.
Performance. You get the potion.
I'm really doing bad here.
But if you hit it into the rough, then you get different enemies. You get like these little frogs and snakes and whatnot.
Frogs.
And then if you go into the water, God forbid, you end up fighting quite difficult enemies underwater. Well, Mads has just reached his ball there, and then you got to get it onto the green.
So now I'm onto the green, and then I have to do this stupid fighting stuff again.
Here we go again. See, do you know, I think this would be a really good Lynx game. I think it would be a really good portable game. I mean, as it is, I can't really imagine sitting down at a console playing this, but as a handheld game for a bit of 5 minutes of fun. I thought it was really good.
5 minutes is about 4 minutes and 50 seconds too much of this.
So I got to about hole 6 on this.
Yeah.
And it does get quite difficult.
It does. I mean, maybe I'm just not paying attention right now because I'm talking to you as well. I did get to hole 5, I think, as well. But man, it was boring.
The problem is, though, and this is where I'm not great. I mean, it ramps up the difficulty by just throwing more at you, more of the same thing, rather than changing it.
There are almost no difference. It's just. Oh yeah. By the way, when you putt, you don't putt.
You don't putt.
You fight a dragon in the end.
Yeah. Think the dragon, which is the same at the end of every hole, talking about the repetitious nature of it. It's the same on every hole. But think the mini game in Shinobi between levels. That's exactly what it is. You've got to time your throws to take out the dragon, and the dragon gets a little bit harder. Its patterns vary up.
So that was the first hole here.
There, mate.
But man, I mean, no, this is just stupid. I mean, it's a stupid idea. It was badly executed. Give me a golf game instead, or give me a better fighting game. This is just this is crap.
I think this is well worth your time. A stupid idea that is actually better than it has any right to be.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Fair
Mileage will vary. Let's move on. Man, the next one.
So what do we got now? Steeplechase. So we're down to the last 5 games now. We're talking about this for about an hour, so seems to fit the format quite well.
Yeah, I think so.
So, Steeplechase.
Yeah.
You want to read the
1975 arcade game. This was, mate. Blimey O'Reilly. Released on the Atari 2600 in 1980. Yep. Steeplechase is a split-screen horse racing game. The object is to be the first player to advance your horse to the right side of the screen. You'll approach hurdles of different sizes that you'll have to jump and clear to stay ahead. If you hit a hurdle, you lose some ground as your horse gets back on its hooves. Conceptually, it's a really, really simple game. And it actually plays in a really simple way, too.
The fun to be had here is definitely in multiplayer, right?
I think so. Although, I think the idea, the nuance and the difficulty comes from... So, Mads is doing it there. So you can set your jump height separately. So you press it runs automatically, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
You press one button to jump, but in between the jumps, you can change the height that your horse will jump. And the idea is to try and keep that as low as possible because the longer you're in the air, the less time you are picking up speed.
And it becomes easier and easier to do the jumps because you're picking up speed and jumping longer, of course. So I find it's about, I got a bad start here, but it's about just being patient. Don't adjust the height because you can actually do it on the lowest height and that's fastest. And just time your jumps. So I would be winning this most of the time when I played it. But
although I would say that if you tried it on one of the different games, so I think there are like 6 different game modes, and they increase. So the 1-player games each increase the difficulty. It does get difficult.
It does.
The computer opponents speed up. It gets harder to make the jumps. I think on this game mode 1, you basically set a jump level and you can keep it at that. That is good enough for all of the jumps. But as you progress through the game modes, you have to, with each jump, you have to change that. That jump height.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, mate. Again, in 1975, when if you liked horse racing, this is something that you think maybe you've been interested in, but it's quite difficult to sit and spend any time on this in 2024, isn't it? I think even if you did have friends to play with.
Yeah, that's true. Probably
it looks nice. It does. I mean, it looks like a horse.
Yeah. The sprite work is actually quite good.
Or a big dog.
Nah, look, the horse is pretty good.
But it's not a dragon that looks like a duck, at least.
No. No,
so
this is. I mean, for a game included on the cartridge, it's more of a curio, and definitely playing it in handheld form would be no fun because you're not having the multiplayer experience. But on the Versus, could be fun just for 1 or 2 games with the kids.
Do you know what the Evercade is missing? Actually, online multiplayer.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Wouldn't that be good?
True.
Like give games like that a whole new lease of life. If we could just kind of get together and have a quick game for 15 minutes.
Yeah, true. That'd be good fun. So, on to yet another game from 1982. It's Sword Quest Earthworlds. It says here, Sword Quest Earthworld is an action-adventure game where you need to solve mysteries in the pursuit of the legendary Sword of Ultimate Sorcery. That's quite a long sword title there. You'll explore 12 rooms named after the signs of the zodiac, each with its own trials and tests you'll have to complete in order to locate the special items. Let's have a look.
Did you spend much time with this?
No, I didn't actually.
No, I didn't either. I think I was all adventured out by the time I got to this. But
me too. It's it's like it starts out a bit like adventure, but this time we actually have a sprite. We're not just
it's well animated as well.
Yeah, it is actually. I couldn't really figure out what to do when you're in these screens that are just the square screens with exits in them, right? So to begin with, you have exits north, south, east, and west, and all the rooms. And whenever you go through one of them, there's this small 3D portal animation.
Yeah, like a screen transition.
Yeah, just to show that you're walking down a corridor and then you enter a new room. You can't actually see whether a corridor can be entered or not. If you're looking at the video right now, you can see I can't actually go to the left right now. But nothing tells me that I can't do that.
So this was meant to be part of a series of 4 games. This one is this is the Earth one, isn't it? This is Sword Quest, whatever it's called, Earth something.
Yeah.
Sword Quest Earthworld. There was due to be others. One was Water World, Fire World, etc., etc. But it never happened. Only 2 of the 5 were ever, or 2 of the 4 were ever released. There were also supposed to be real life prizes.
Okay. Yeah. But so explain to me what I just did there, actually, because in the game, if you're watching the video form, you can see the only thing I did is that I walked north maybe 6 times, and now I have this blinking screen that says 16-4.
Yeah.
Is that good? Am I on to the next level, or?
It looks like you died, doesn't it, somehow?
Could be.
This is another one of those games I don't think either of us have spent enough time with it. It's one of those games you need to read the manual, you need to figure out. I mean, you got to find the treasure. Again, the idea is you find the prizes, one of which is a chalice. But there's a golden sword, there's a crown, there's a pyramid. And these real prizes, these were dished out in real life. There's an inventory in this as well, so you can carry multiple items.
But again, you'd need the manual to figure out what's going on in this adventure. Yeah. What am I doing right now, for example? I'm switching some stuff, so now I have selected something else in my inventory right now. I don't know how to use what I have in my inventory, and I don't know what it does really.
So I was reading. I've got it in front of me. This forum post on this, and this poster said he talks about the game, and he said apparently the kind of memories that people have of this is very negative because there was a lot of bad publicity around it. They didn't release all the games, etc., etc. And this guy says it's sad because Sword Quest is not as horribly flawed as some people might think. And if you think about it, the games have no flaw except for being excruciatingly, painfully difficult and for relying on guesswork rather than pure skill. He says if you don't read the manual, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a bit of a problem for a game like this on the Evercade. I mean, they shouldn't include games like this because they don't include the manuals. Of course, we have Martyn's beautiful site for that, but still, I mean, you can't include a game that you can't expect anybody to be able to play.
Yeah, and I also question the choice of putting this on the cart when you've already got Adventure.
Yeah.
Which is a much more instantly gratifying and playable game. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather have spent half an hour trying to crack that second game on Adventure than trying to figure out another similar kind of game.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
So I would question the wisdom about putting 2 games that are kind of conceptually quite similar. I don't know.
So on to bigger and better things. Yes. Tempest. Everybody knows Tempest, of course. This is released in 2005.
Yeah.
So what the story about that is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Other than what it says here, really.
Yeah, it says it was. You can read it for us. Yep.
Yeah, so it says the arcade hit shooter Tempest comes home to the Atari 2600. Well, sort of. Atari 2600 Tempest was a prototype that never saw release back in the day for a variety of reasons. It was finally made available in 2005, allowing players to get a chance to get their first glimpse at how Atari planned to bring the rather advanced arcade game to the console.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I mean, Tempest needs to be something that this isn't for me. So I didn't have a lot of fun with this.
You know, this This is something, though, which you shouldn't be able to play this at all on the Atari 2600, should you?
But you can't really, can you? I mean, you need to be squinting real hard to see this as anything 3D like. I mean, maybe I'm just being simple, but can you see the 3D in this?
I can't see the 3D, but I think they've tried and almost almost succeeded, which does mean that they failed.
Yeah.
To make something playable out of it. I love Tempest. I absolutely love the arcade game. That game for me is like so addictive. I really love it, and I love Jeff Mintz's reimaginings and Tempest 2000, 3000. I love those games. So I was quite excited to try this. In fact, it was probably one of the first games I tried when I put the cartridge in. Yeah, it's kind of an almost for me, isn't it? My problem is you can't. It's difficult to know where your shots are going to go.
And it's difficult to see the enemy shots as well. I mean, you can see them when they fire, but then they just kind of disappear and you don't know that you're getting hit. And I don't know, really, this is more than the machine could do. And it shows, I think. I mean, this is nigh on unplayable for me. It's
I mean, it kind of needs to work on diagonals, doesn't it? Your shots need to go diagonal, but they don't. They just go up and down. Yeah. So it's almost impossible to know where your ship needs to be to shoot the enemies. You're just guessing, really. Yeah. And as we're seeing there with Mads, what happens is you end up then dying because it's quite unforgiving. You don't get a lot of time, and if you don't get the shots right, they'll come up and you'll die.
Yeah, exactly.
And it makes it more frustrating than anything else. But in terms of an effort to get something running on a system which should never, ever have been able to get anywhere near this, I think it's a worthy effort.
Yeah.
But not one, really, that's particularly playable these days.
Nah, not one I'd recommend you spend any time with. So it's a curio for me and nothing more, so...
Yeah.
Speaking of things that you shouldn't spend your time with, let's have a look at video pinball. We're not finishing on great games here, but just remember, listeners, we have been going through a lot of really great games on this cartridge as well.
Yeah, there's enough to justify the cost of this cartridge and some, despite some of these duffers.
So in 1980, we got video pinball for the 2600 here. It says video pinball is a pinball simulation for 1 to 2 players or 2 players. You begin the game with 3 balls and need to score as many points as possible by hitting the various bumpers, spinners, and rollovers on the table. Yeah, well, let's have a go at that, eh?
So this was programmed by Bob Smith.
Yep.
In 1980. I question the wisdom of putting this on the cart.
It looks like something. I mean, if this has been on the C64, you'd think this is something that some amateur kid wrote in BASIC as their first game. That's what it looks like to me. The only thing you can say about it that is a bit good is that there's. Look at the way that your ball, which is just a square, jumps and moves. There's some credibility to the physics, really.
Yeah, it can't have been easy to code that on the 2600.
Exactly.
And I'm sure it was really impressive, in terms of a coding exercise at the time.
Yeah.
And again, in 1980, if you had no other option for video pinball than this...
you'd still only play it 5 minutes and then you'd want to go and wash your brain.
Maybe so. But nowadays, we've got plenty of options, haven't we? We've got the beautiful Amiga games that you can fire up. And this I thought this was an odd choice for the cart, to be honest.
Yeah. Again, a bit of a curio. And as I said, the ball physics, they aren't good, but they are not trivial either.
No, they're not bad.
No. So that's a bit fun to see from a technical point of view, I guess. But it's not playable at all, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, it's no fun. I think that's the problem with it. It's boring.
Yeah.
And it gets boring really, really quickly.
Yeah, it gets boring just about 2 to 4 seconds after you launch the ball, I guess.
It's certainly not one that I think I'll ever, whenever I plug in this cart, it's not going to be one that I'm going to fire up.
No, me neither. No. Let's move on quickly. Final game.
Last game, then.
Last game. So for the longest time, I thought this was Yar's Revenge, but it isn't. We've got the Yar's Return. So
Did you know this was a thing before we?
No,
did
I actually didn't.
No.
Never
2005 again.
Yeah. So
what a year for Atari games.
Yeah, apparently. So it's created in 2005. I mean, the other games we saw from 2005 were like prototypes or unreleased stuff that they found.
This is actually a modern game.
This is actually a modern game, yeah. So it's created in 2005 as a follow-up to the legendary Yar's Revenge. Yar's Return puts an interesting spin on the classic gameplay. Once again, the Yars need to go to battle against the Quolites?
Quotiles?
Quotiles, it says. Quotiles. Using their mighty soul and cannon. Let's have a look at that then. I couldn't for the life of me figure out what to do here. So you're going to have to teach me.
Yeah, so I did spend a bit of time playing this, but it did take a bit of working out. Now I have to confess, I've never played Yar's Revenge.
Okay.
So this whole concept was complete. Now, my understanding is that in Yar's Revenge, everything is on the right of the screen, right?
Mm.
And
you are on the left side, and then
so the first thing you need to do, mate, is avoid those. I don't know, missiles, whatever they are coming at you. They will kill you.
Yes.
Now, but the difference with Yar's Return is that everything is on. It's all in the middle with the shield around the outside, and then you need to punch through those defenses there. You need to punch through to create a pathway for your super missile, which is going to come and destroy that. What did they call it? A quotile?
Yeah.
In the middle.
So that's what I'm doing, because I was just wondering why I couldn't shoot the thing.
Once you've created a path, you need to go into the center. So if you go around the other side now, so Mads is doing a beautiful job here. So be careful now, because that big thing will come in. So you need to go into the center, and then you'll see, if you maneuver around, you'll see that thing on the outside. So you need to shoot that. There you go.
Yeah.
So then you get your big super missile will appear on the outside, and that's what you need to fire in at the
I never knew that I needed to go into the center in the end there. Okay. Yeah.
And it becomes, once you get to that, it becomes quite playable. And then,
only thing is, I don't know how you feel about it, but those flickering colors that are constantly shifting,
give you a headache.
They give me a headache immediately.
Yeah, they would.
It's so hard to watch this game.
The other problem I have with it is that there are only 2 level types.
Yeah.
I mean, I must have. So you've got that level that you've just beaten, and then you've got this level, where the gaps in as you punch through the defenses, they kind of scroll down.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the first level, and it just gets a little bit harder. The projectiles get a little faster, and everything just gets a little bit more difficult. I could have been missing something, but they were the only 2 level types that I could find. So it just gets quickly. I mean, I had a decent go at this, and it becomes quite easy, to be honest. You'll get to the point where you can do that. Be careful, because if you're in the way, that will kill you.
You can shoot yourself. Okay.
You can shoot yourself. Yeah. But you get to the point where you get quite competent at it. And then you just constantly just looping these 2 levels over and over again. And it's just getting a little bit more difficult. So it gets quite dull quite quickly.
Yeah. I mean, the visuals themselves will just keep me far away from playing this ever. So
this is another one that got an actual release by Atari in a box on a cart.
Yeah.
There are 8 game modes apparently. So it may be one where if you change the game mode, it gets more interesting. You get more level types. It didn't exactly inspire me to go and want to play Yar's Revenge, though, I have to say.
Nah. Me neither. I have Yar's Revenge actually for my 2600. Never spent enough time on it actually, but should do that at some point.
No.
So
a good cart.
A really good cart. We've gone all the way through. I think what we need to do, and what we should do for all of these future episodes, is that now, I know it's hard, but we should just mention the games that are on there again. That's easy, but pick a favorite. So I'm just going to walk right through the games, just say 1 or 2 words about them, and so the people know what we've been talking about. So we've got Adventure for the 2600 that we both loved, I think. Alien Brigade for the 7800, which was this Operation Wolf shoot 'em up that would have been better with a light gun.
Yeah,
we got Aquaventure for the 2600, wonderful arcade-like game. That was a lost, fully developed game, but was never released.
Yeah.
Asteroids, which was a serviceable version of Asteroids, again for the 2600. Canyon Bomber for the 2600. Not much fun, really, was it?
No.
Centipede, again, a serviceable version of the arcade game, as was...
A good version, I would say.
Yeah, it was quite good, actually, yeah. And Crystal Castles, which was a really good version. Again, considering that it's on the 2600, quite impressive.
Yeah.
Desert Falcon, which initially I didn't understand, but Chris just actually, while we were recording here, taught me how to play. And it again, looks a bit interesting now. Better than what I thought it was.
I would definitely recommend you revisit that.
Yeah, we'll do. Double Dunk, which, again, 2600 game, which was the basketball game that we didn't have any fun with.
No.
We have Food Fight, the beautiful version of the arcade game for the 7800. Really, really well recommended game. Gravatar, which, again, grew on me while we were playing and talking here, because that was actually good fun. I got through a few of the planets, and it is hard, really, really hard. But I like the idea of the gravity and then the way you control it. So, again, a game that I would like to go back to.
That's your longevity game on this cart. That's the one that you can't just play for half an hour. That is the game that you need to practice at for weeks.
Yeah. Got Missile Command. Again, I think a good version of the arcade game. Would be a good high score challenge, as you said.
What do you say, mate? A good port of a rubbish game is still a rubbish game.
I wouldn't call it rubbish. I just find it a bit boring, probably because it's too easy to begin with. The later levels are good fun. Yeah. I'm just I don't have the patience for that anymore, I think, it seems.
That's fair.
Motorcycle, which was the hang-on clone where you can jump for the Atari 7800. Not a game for us, so not one I would spend more time with. Night Driver, which was just a curio. It's fun to see because it's of course a very well-known old arcade game, but not playable at all here on the 2600. Then we have one game that we didn't agree on, actually, Ninja Golf. I found it exceedingly stupid, and Chris had good fun. It's you're a ninja, you play golf, and that's it, I guess. You do both things.
It's very natural thing for ninjas to do.
Yes, of course. They need to unwind after a long day of killing people, I guess.
Just go and swing a club and beat up some dudes.
Yeah. Steeplechase, your horse race, and, very simple game. Not one I'd spend a lot of time on, but it was okay. Sword Quest was the adventure that maybe shouldn't have been here. It's you definitely need to pick up the manual to understand what's going on here.
The enigma of the cart.
Yeah. Tempest, which for me is an interesting attempt at doing Tempest on the Atari 2600, but also a failure. Not much fun to play, actually. And again, video pinball, just don't go there. And Yas Return seems like there could be a good game there, but you need to be able to withstand watching huge amounts of just cycling colors constantly. And we're talking about like 20% of the screen that's just cycling through different colors constantly. It's it makes me want to puke quite quickly.
A headache in a cart.
Yes. Yeah. But man, this is a good cart. I mean, more than half of these games are really, really good, and you can spend hours and hours on. So
value for money, right? I mean, $17.99. This would have set you back. So there's plenty there. But give me a favorite and an honorable mention.
Okay, it's going to be hard because initially I would have said Aquaventure because we played it for the high school challenge and I had so much fun playing it. But again, Adventure, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed playing that and finally experiencing that for real. And Food Fight is just so good on this cartridge.
Yeah.
But right now, if I have to pick, if the criteria is this is the game I can see myself going back to immediately to spend a bit more time on, it would actually be Adventure or Gravatar. Even though I find some of those like Food Fight, Crystal Castles, and Aquaventure really, really good. So picking between Gravatar and Adventure, I'd have to go with Adventure because that's just a bit more of my kind of game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so for me, I would say certainly my favourite game on the cart is Aquaventure.
Yeah,
I think it's probably worth the price of the cart on its own, if I'm honest. I mean, given that Atari released it, and you can still buy it. If you're only available in the States, but you can buy it for $50.
Okay.
So given that we've got that full game here with 19 others for £18, justifies the price of the cart itself. very big honourable mention for Food Fight. I think that's fantastic. I love that game.
Yeah.
A true classic high score chase. Made me fire it up on the cab. And a really, really complete and good port. Just the biggest surprise, if you like, maybe we could couch it in those terms. The biggest surprise for me on this cart was definitely Desert Falcon.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely. If you'd said to me that I would enjoy playing a isometric scrolling shooter inspired by Zaxxon, I would have probably told you were nuts, because I really don't like Zaxxon.
No.
But I really enjoyed playing this. And I love a game where my initial reaction is, I'm turning this off. And then actually you just persist and you think, there is a real game here.
Yeah.
So probably the biggest surprise for me, Desert Falcon, but Aquaventure, a solid winner for sure on this one.
Yeah, it's a great game. I'll agree with that. But
just to preview the next cart, which will be at some point in the near future, the Namco Museum Collection 1, which was cart 2.
So question, Chris. Can I plug in a cartridge in the VS while it's on, or will I destroy my...
I don't know, mate.
Okay, then I won't try it. Otherwise, I could just show people the games that we'll be looking at.
Yeah, so let's just see if Mads can do that. It's drum roll, please.
And I promised too much because I just opened my my case here with the Namco Museum Collection 1, and the cartridge isn't there, so I need to go find the kits and see what happens.
Well, I can tell you some of the examples of the games. So we've got some ports here. These are NES ports of the likes of Dig Dug, Galaxian, Mappy, and Starluster, and Pac-Man. We've also got things like Mappy Kids. So this is interesting because this is an NES game, for the first time ever translated into English officially.
Okay.
It's probably got some fan translations, but that kind of thing is really cool on Evercade. That's an Evercade exclusive. Libble Rabble, Battle Cars, but the one I'm most excited about is a game called Metal Marines, a real-time strategy game.
Yeah.
That was released for the Super Nintendo, published by Namco. 20 levels of real-time strategy fun. That's like a real kind of get your teeth into it game with a proper narrative and everything. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. I'm going away for a week next week. I'll have my Evercade, and I'm looking forward to some long sessions on Metal Marines. Only 11 games on the next card, but they look... there's some really good ones.
Yeah, most of these episodes won't be as long as this one, I guess, because this was 20 games on this cartridge. Most of them have like 5 or something like that, right?
Yeah, or maybe even 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So we need to come up with our high score options. I put it out on Discord. We've got some ideas. We'll choose one of the arcade games as high score. I'm quite leaning towards Mappy, just because I think that's a really different kind of a
Yeah, I like Mappy, so that'd be good fun.
But we'll come up with something. We'll get a high score challenge going, and in a few weeks we'll be back to talk about some Namco games.
Yeah, indeed. Looking forward to it. So mate, this was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope the listeners will enjoy it as well. You have any shout-outs you'd like to get off your chest before we finish?
Shout out to the rest of the gang. An ever-increasing number of members now. Jim, Mark, Dean, Steve, and of course, good old Matt. Once a year, Matt. Looking forward to recording some more non-Game Club episodes with those guys. We've got some cool stuff coming up. And of course, all the Discord members, all the patrons, we will get back to shouting you guys out specifically once we get into the swing of things here. But to you, mate, I enjoyed. Thank you for manning the controls there and showing off some skills on these games. Yeah,
it was good fun. So for me, shout out to Deadlock Martyn, and his Evercade.info site. Of course, I actually wanted to get Martyn on this episode, but he's ignoring me, so he doesn't read my messages. So, but maybe if he wants to, we'll get him on a later episode, because of course he knows a lot about the Evercade cartridges and the games.
Yeah.
So shout out to him, and shout out to the other content creators. I feel like it's been a while since I did this, but there are so many good podcasts to listen to out there, guys. So go listen to RGDS and Retro Game Squad and New Game Old Flame, of course, and the Video Game Newsroom Time Machine, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, there's so many.
There are so many great podcasts out there, and people do great work for free. So go pick up your podcast player and listen to some of the other guys as well.
Yeah, Yep, ditto. Cool.
I guess
until Namco.
Yeah, we're all Atari'd out by now. So thanks for listening and thanks for watching. If you've actually been watching this on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up so I can see if anybody actually watches it.
Yeah, feedback most appreciated as well.
Yeah, that'd be good.
By Discord or any other channels. Let us know kind of what worked and what didn't.
Yes.
This is a bit of an experiment for us, so be interested to get some feedback.
And let us know on Discord if you'd like us to try to stream these instead. So do live recordings, maybe even put video of ourselves in the corner as well and stream it on Twitch if you'd like to watch it like that.
And then you can join me in the Ribbon Mads when he dies really quickly on Aquaventure.
Yes. That would be good.
Right. Cheers, mate. See you next time.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
From now on, unlike your parents were, you are the secret force of Retro Asylum.
Playing so fast, they're the only ones who can take you back in time. They play old games, they're more retro than J1 Optimus Prime. I'd go more to the arcade for adventures.